Topping today's news, 4 men lose their lives over the weekend due to violence and conflict. The nation continues to deal with unexplained fires. The latest on West Bay Street this morning. The Ministry of Health signs a contract through the IDB for construction of a new national reference lab. And a former member of parliament, senator, and opposition leader passes away on the weekend. Jcn Evening News. I'm Jcn Saunders. Thank you so much for joining us. For the first 4 months of the year, the rate of murders were on a decline compared to last year, with 26 murders to end the month of April this year, compared to 45 murders at the end of April in 2024. Unfortunately, it was a tragic weekend with 4 murders here in the capital. The latest happened last night around 10 p.m. when a 40-year-old man was stabbed on Plantal Street off East Street after an altercation with another man. Police say a 50-year-old suspect has been arrested and is being questioned in connection with that stabbing death. On Saturday, around 1 a.m., a male was stabbed to death after getting into an altercation with another man at a business establishment on Fox Hill Road. The victim was taken to hospital in a private vehicle, but later died from his injuries. Prior to that, shortly after midnight on Saturday, a 31-year-old man was fatally shot while sitting in a vehicle in front of a residence on Williams Lane off Camp Road. He was reportedly ambushed by 2 gunmen who fled the scene on foot, heading in a northern direction. The horrific weekend began on Saturday around 7 p.m. when a male was chased by a lone gunman who shot him to death while on 2nd Street, Coconut Grove. According to Love 97's records, there are now 30 murders on record for 2025. Police investigations continue into each one of them. Firefighters here in the capital were called to the scene of another fire shortly before 9 a.m. this morning. This time it was on West Bay Street. A bushfire came dangerously close to several homes and condominiums on Sea Beach Boulevard, just east of the popular Sappadilla restaurant. You're looking at some of the video. JCN was on scene. On Saturday around 2 p.m., fire services, they were called to another fire, and they extinguished this fire, which was located at a non-residential property off Shirley Street. No homes were damaged. Meanwhile, fire services personnel and community volunteers on Abaco have been fighting raging bushfires threatening various residential and business communities there. Member of Parliament for Central and South Abaco, John Pinder, leading efforts to bring the fires there under control. Mr. Pinder actually contracted a water plane from Texas that has been spraying water on the fire from the air. There was also a fire in Spring City, Abaco, last week. Residents throughout the Bahamas, you're urged not to start fires to burn trash or leaves from your trees that are on your property, or any other reason to start a fire, and properly discard of smoking products like cigarettes and cigars. Last week on the island of Eleuthera, the government continued expansion of its home ownership program, where 6 families received keys to their new homes. The government says the home ownership program is focused on making housing more affordable for Bahamians. Well, leader of the official opposition, Michael Pintard, shared his opinion on the Davis administration's home ownership initiative. He says more is needed to be done, and there needs to be more transparency.
Demographic. This government, despite all of its beating its chest and patting itself on the back in terms of their housing program, several things are worrisome. One, they took a $20 million loan, which we understood to be an illegal loan for a housing project. We know that there isn't $20 million in the ground where that project is supposed to have been done, and so there is no accountability around that housing project.
Mr. Pintard expressed his beliefs and the need for transparency from the Davis administration, stating that the need for more documentation about the housing projects is very much needed so that the opposition and the public can fact-check what they are doing in the housing space.
We do believe that there is an inherent conflict of interest between some of the companies that they are doing business with. And so we are going to take a closer look, in particular, at the Mortgage Corporation and any of the insurance companies that are working with them. We'd like to learn more about what that relationship is about, and we'll have more to say on that particular subject a little later.
Mr. Pintard noted that the Free National Movement, under the leadership of Hubert Ingram, built a record number of homes, and a new F&M administration under his leadership will do the same. And that's why they are keeping a close eye on anything that the Progressive Liberal Party is doing when it comes to housing. And finally, in this segment, tributes and condolences continue to come in following the death of John Henry Bostwick, KC, prominent attorney and politician who died on Saturday. Mr. Bostwick, who served both in the House of Assembly and the Senate, served twice as leader of the opposition and held the office of President of the Senate from 1992 to 2002. Opposition leader Michael Pintard said with tenacity and courage, he was relentless in helping to secure a vibrant democracy and two-party system. Prime Minister Philip Davis said Bostwick's political journey was never about rigid loyalty to party. It was about loyalty to country. He stood for what he believed was right, even when it required him going against the grain. And it is that courage, that independence of mind, that mindset that made him such a respected figure across the political spectrum. You're watching JCN TV News. We'll take a break here. We'll be right back following these commercials.